Hey, Battle Bill, here with another video, getting some more Season 12 Go Battle League battles, these taking place in the Open Great League meta. In today's video, we're going to find the answer to the question, does the recent buff to tackle improve Hoenn LINOONES gameplay in the Open Great League meta? Now, as you may know, LINOONE has access to both fast moves of Shadow Claw and Tackle, and with the recent buffs, Tackle has essentially turned into a Lick or Water Gun clone. Now, both of those moves do not sound better than Shadow Claw, but once you realize that Shadow Claw is non-stab because of LINOONE's normal typing, and you recognize that Tackle is stab, it will do a little bit more damage than Shadow Claw, but will generate less energy. Shadow Claw is 3 damage per turn with 4 energy per turn, and then Tackle, I haven't done the math, but with stab is a little bit more than 3 damage per turn and 3 energy per turn. So we paired it with Shadow Nidoqueen and Talonflame for today's set of battles. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's jump right into the video and check out these battles. So getting into the first battle, we have Tackle LINOONE going up against Shadow Nidoqueen. As you'll notice, the tackles are adding up and doing about as much damage as the Poison Fangs are doing, or Poison Jabs are doing to our Galarian LINOONE. The opponent then swaps into their own Sableye, we throw a Grass Knot at it, and then we swap into our own Talonflame. They're getting to a charge move here. We're worried about it being a return, so we're going to shield. It ends up being the foul play bait, unfortunately, and because we got baited, we know this has to be another foul play coming through, so we're going to commit to an Incinerate down. We're hoping, even though we're at the shield disadvantage, having all this energy stored is going to do us favors. The problem is we're pretty low on health, and we're fully expecting that Nidoqueen to come back in. Now, because we threw that energy with LINOONE, we're not going to be in a great spot wanting to come back in with it, but we don't have much of a choice because we don't want to play the Nidoqueen mirror out. And of course, not having Shadow Claw, not generating energy as fast is not going to benefit us here because the tackles are not adding up enough. Our opponent then swaps into Razor Leaf Shadow Obama. What a mon to be running in some Open Great League battles. They go for a charge move here. We're going to go for a complete farm down because we bring in our Shadow Nidoqueen into it. They then come back in with their Nidoqueen. We go straight for the Earth Power, knowing that baiting here is not our win con, and we land with a boom! The Earth Power on their opposing Nidoqueen. They held on to their shield, and that's GG's for match number 1. LINOONE clearly not helping too much. They're getting carried a bit by Talonflame and Nidoqueen. But let's check out the next matchup. We're dealing some good tackle damage to the Azumarill, getting to our first Grass Knot here. Gonna do some super effective damage. Both charge moves LINOONE has access to would deal super effective damage to Azumarill. It's coming through with the charge move here. We're worried about it being a Hydro Pump because they overfarm so much. Ends up just being a play rough, and we're fully expecting them to go for another play rough here. The problem is because of us using tackle, we're not able to outpace them to the charge moves. So this is not helping our matchup against the Azumarill. Now, recognizing their count and because they just did the play rough, we are able to do enough tackles to build the 2 Grass Knots. The problem is the opponent comes with an Altaria, and all that extra energy that we generated ends up being a waste because double resisted Grass Knots on Altaria that are non-stab is not going to do much damage. We don't have great play against Altaria with this team comp. We have to come with Nidoqueen. We are at a shield disadvantage. We're hoping that our fangs and our jabs and our fangs will add up and do enough damage along with the potential debuffs. The opponent's going for a charge move here. Us recognizing our situation, we have to shield and preserve our Nidoqueen. We attempt to go for the farm down, but they then swap into their Sableye, and with the 2 shield and no shield advantage, this match is just about wrapped up and is unfortunately going to be a loss for us. So now, with the fact that we're running Tackle and LINOONE, our main hope is to have better normal matchups with LINOONE going up against other normal types like Lickitung in Open Great League. That's at least the first one that comes to mind. The Sableye is going to come here, throw another foul play, and take out our Nidoqueen, and that is going to be GG's in the second match. We're currently 1-1 in this set of battles. Into the next matchup, can we catch a Lickitung? No, we catch a Trevenant, and because they don't recognize, he's sometimes, playing with a little bit of being deceptive allows us to have a positive situation. They assumed we were running Shadow Claw, thinking it'd be a negative matchup because our Shadow Claw's doing so much damage to their Trev. They swap immediately into Walrein, but running Tackle on our LINOONE essentially loses us that matchup, and thanks to them not recognizing the situation, they swap into Walrein, which is still not a great matchup, but it's definitely a better one. But we have to let that Icicle Spear come through because we're going to get outpaced before we get to another Grass Knot. So playing the essential 0-1 shield, we lose it, but at least, we have a shield advantage going into the back line, going up against this Walrein. We overfarm a bit, not wanting to eat another Icicle Spear. We land the Flame Charge on the Walrein, and it turns out this opponent's team is triple weak to Talonflame. And LINOONE totally helped carry by tricking the Trevenant out of the lead and then luring out the Walrein, which would have been their best matchup for our Talonflame, considering we're all loaded up. So this win is brought to you 100% by Tackle Linoone. I'm coping. Talonflame clearly carried here as it's essentially going on a rampage and sweeping the opponent's back line. They are going to get a Shadow Ball off and finally take out our Talonflame, but no matter what the Trevenant throws here, we're going to survive even the Shadow Ball. We'll get to a Poison Fang, and they decide the top left, recognizing they're going to lose. Getting to the next matchup, another situation where having Tackle is not going to benefit us because we're now doing a bunch of resisted damage and taking forever to get to our charge moves. If we had Shadow Claw, we'd be able to generate energy more and at least throw the neutral damage a little bit quicker. The tackles are really not even adding up here. It takes 2 Grass Knots to take out the Stunfisk, but they essentially baited and then got to another Earthquake, and they're going to be able to take us out, and we essentially take the L in the lead because we recognize how poor of a situation this is going to be with our Linoone running Tackle. So we come back in with Talonflame hoping for another sweep. They're throwing a charge move. We're going to Incinerate all the way down, and essentially this video turns into the Talonflame show, and it goes to show you how good Talonflame can be in some open Great League battles, as if that's not common knowledge. But you know what? I have been seeing less and less Talonflames these days, so you know what? Maybe this is a good enough feature to remind you that this is a good mon. Especially, well, I guess the reason why it slowly disappeared a bit is because of the Walrein nerf, which essentially brought more Alterias out, but that should also bring more Trevs out, and Talonflame loves itself a good Trev. But yeah, the opponent's last mon is a Shadow Venusaur. We should have Brave Birded it just to destroy the Venusaur along with its entire family line. But honestly, that boosted Flame Charge probably did the same job regardless. But let's get into the final match of the set. We kind of already know the answer to our question here, but we'll talk about it more after this battle. We have a negative lead here because the double is going to be able to do super effective double kick damage to our normal type Linoone. We swap in a Shadow Nidoqueen, and they match us with one of the hardest answers in the game in the form of Frostlass, which is definitely a unique mod to be running in some open Great League battles. We go for the Earth Power, should have baited, because as you can tell, I would have gotten to an Earth Power there if I would have thrown the Poison Fang first, and potentially could have gotten both of their shields. Unfortunately, don't do that. And then, of course, having Tackle on Linoone not benefiting us here, because we could have came in with the Linoone and Shadow Clawed the Frostlass all the way down. Instead, we commit to the farm down with our Talonflame. We're asking Talonflame to do another big lifting job here. Let's see what they end up coming back in with. They come back in with their double, which is telling us, you know what, maybe they don't have great answers for Talonflame, and maybe Linoone will have a chance to shine against their last mon. We go for back-to-back flame charges. We're super boosted at this point, so we really don't want to swap out, but we do click the Linoone, but we're stuck in the middle of the Incinerate. It's a 5-turn move, trying to catch their charge move of Payback and keep our Talonflame alive for whatever their last mon may be, but we're not able to. They then are going to spam a bunch of body slam charge moves and apply a bunch of fast move pressure in the form of the super effective double kicks, and we want to take out the double just so we can find out what their last mon is. But this match is essentially over. Ends up being a Trevenant, and of course, having Tackle there is not benefiting us either. So the answer to the question is no. Tackle does not improve Hoenn Linoone's gameplay, but as I did, well, actually one of my viewers did a little PV poke search for us, and technically speaking, if you run Tackle, it does improve a couple matchups. It improves the Spark Lantern matchup, the Lickitung matchup like I mentioned earlier, and the Charmeleon Ninetales matchup. So it does improve 3, but then you lose all of these matchups down here. You lose Azumarill, Egregious. I'm not going to read through them all. You can pause the video and see. I'll even move the image over so you can completely get the full details there. But yes, if you do want to go spicy and run yourself a Linoone in Open Great League, you definitely want to stick with the Shadow Claw fast move variant. But I hope you found that video interesting. Honestly, doing something along these lines definitely piqued my interest. Shout out to my Twitch chat and Henry for the Home Slice Henry for the concept idea. Might try a couple more videos like this out in the future, because of course there are quite a few mons out there with Tackle and Quick Attack that may have been improved thanks to the recent Season 12 buff. But on that note, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching another video. Preach!